guys, and welcome back to my channel. So before we get started, I want to point out that it is like 11:30 at night right now, so my makeup does not look as fresh and radiant as it did when I initially filmed this video. But today I'm going to be talking about a $2 eyeshadow palette. So if you didn't watch my Walmart online haul, I did haul a bunch of eyeshadow palettes that you probably have never heard of. And we are diving into this palette right here. This is the LA Colors 18 color eyeshadow in the shade Downtown Brown. I used 12 out of 18 shades in this palette for you guys, and I will be showing you guys swatches of each of those. So if you want to see this palette in action and see if we have found a $2 hidden gem at the drugstore, then please keep watching. I'm having to refilm a very small portion of the beginning of this demo because it somehow got lost in space. And right now it's 11:30 at night, and I just decided to take off all my makeup and redo what I need to do. So we are going to go ahead and get started and try to replicate everything I did and said this afternoon. So this does have a mixture of shimmers and mattes in here, and I honestly don't really like the layout just because the pans are so small. It's really hard to get a fluffy brush in there. You guys will see me struggle throughout this video, but it is a pretty small palette. Like, it's the size of my hand almost. Just to show you guys a size comparison, here's a naked palette. It just looks like King Kong compared to this one. So I'm gonna go in with a matte skin tone colored eyeshadow, and there are several options in this palette. I do want to do one on each side just because why not. So I'm gonna go in with this one right here, which is just a matte yellow skin tone colored eyeshadow, and take that on a fluffy brush. And again, can't even get the brush in here. So I'm gonna go in and set the entire eyelid. So that shade worked pretty well. It's not over the top pigmented, but it is spreading and blending out really nicely. I'm not having to use a whole lot of product. So yeah, I like that one. But now let's go into, let's do this one right here above the pink shade. I feel like that pink shade's kind of misplaced. It's like the only pinkish tone shade in here. I'm gonna go in with this one right here, which is another matte skin tone colored eyeshadow. It's just a little bit more neutral. And I just want to test out as many eyeshadows as I can today. So this one works pretty well too. It's setting it really nicely. So now I'm gonna go into my transition shade in the crease. And this afternoon I started out using one shade, and then I was like, you know what, let's try another shade just to use as many as possible. So we're gonna do the same thing that we just now did. So first I'm gonna go into this one right here below the pink shade. This is just a matte light tan shade. Just put this in the crease to act as my transition. So this shade that I'm using right here is not very pigmented. It does end up working. It just works as a very, very light crease shade. As you can see, there is color translating onto my eyelids. It is applying really nicely and very evenly. You just have to build it up a little bit. So now I'm gonna go into this shade right here at the bottom. This is literally like one shade darker than what we just used. It's just a like medium matte tan shade. I'm just gonna put that in the crease as well on this side. But as you can see, it's more intense right off the bat. I haven't had to build it up as much. So now I'm going to start working in the outer V. I'm going to go in with this shade right here at the bottom. This is just a matte dark brown shade. I'm just going to get a little bit of that on the brush and tap off the excess. That's another con to the size of this palette. Like, when you tap off the excess, it gets all over the other surrounding shades, so that kind of sucks. So I'm gonna go in and put this in the outer V. Pattern that I'm seeing with this palette is that the matte shades aren't that pigmented. Now the shimmery shades in this palette are a different story. They are very pigmented, very soft, buttery, but the matte shades aren't bad at all. They just aren't super pigmented, so you have to build them up. There is a little bit of fallout on this one right here, and I was noticing back in the past in this video that I had a little bit of fallout with some of these, and I actually had to go back and redo my entire face makeup after I did the eye look, so that kind of sucked. But just do your eyes first. I don't have a problem with wear. I think these wear extremely well. So yeah, as you can see, the matte shades look very soft and diffused, so I'm not really complaining. So now let's go back into the past. Whoop! So now I'm gonna go in and let's do this purple down here at the bottom. This is like a matte plummy purple. Let's put that purple right there in the outer V. Oh, I forgot to swatch the brown shade for you guys. Let's swatch that. So here is the brown shade. This is all I got because I can't fit my entire finger in there. So it actually swatches pretty well. Like, it doesn't look too flaky or anything. It's not the best. Here is the purple shade. Ooh. That one is very pigmented. Doesn't swatch very well at all. So I don't understand why cheaper palettes have to emboss their shadows with some kind of design. Like, it has this little like chevron design in here that I just feel like makes it look really cheap. That's one thing I don't like about the Wet n Wild eyeshadows. As good as they are and as pigmented as they are, I hate how it has like, what does it say, like contour, eyelid, outer V, or whatever it says. I think it just makes it look so cheap. Like, just make it a flat eyeshadow. So again, this one isn't over the top pigmented. it is easier to work with. Like, I'm not having a problem blending these out or anything. I'm gonna have to blend the edge of that a little bit, which is normal for me. I feel like this side is working so much better than this side. Like, this side is just, I don't know. So I'm gonna go in with this shade at the top of the palette. This is like a shimmery bronzy color. It's like a deeper bronze. So I'm gonna take that on one of those brushes I just used, I don't really care, and put that right on top of the purple shade, like in the outer V. Okay, where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, this one does look flaky when you swatch it, but it's actually pretty pigmented. I don't really know why it's not showing up on my eyelids. Maybe it's not looking as pigmented right now because I'm using a fluffy brush and I just need to use a flatter brush, but I don't want to. So personally, I think the winners in this palette are these 3 taupe shades right here, like this one, and this one. These are so pigmented and buttery, and this one right here, oh my god, it's so pretty. I'm gonna go in with this one right here. This is like a purpley taupey color right here. Let's swatch it for you guys. Look how pretty. It doesn't swatch that well, but trust me, on the eyes, bang bang boom, it's so pretty. What? Ooh, I'm actually gonna wet my brush to make it more metallic-y and show you guys what this palette can do. Just gonna pat this all over the eyelid to the center, meeting what we did in the outer V. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into this beautiful shade right here. Wet my brush again. I'm just gonna pat this on the center of the lid, kind of like a spotlight. Oh, it's so beautiful. So I'm also gonna pop that color in the inner corner. Ooh. I guess I can go in with a brow bone highlight. Let's do this one up here. I didn't use this skin tone colored eyeshadow. Let's see what this one swatches like. This one doesn't swatch that well, but it kind of looks like it does on camera, but it doesn't. Okay, so that shade worked very well for the brow bone. I'm pretty happy right now. Actually, let's go in with this shade right here. This is like a warm, maybe transition shade. It looks pretty light. I don't know if it'll work for a transition shade or if it's more of a brow bone highlight. That one's not too bad. Okay, so this is performing very well as a cleanup shade. Look at that. I freaking love this. This is so nice. Let's go into this gray shade down here at the bottom. I haven't used this. I never use gray shades. This one seems to be pretty pigmented. I'm gonna put this right in the socket. Maybe just add a little bit, like kind of like a half cut crease maybe. Not showing up a whole lot, but it's just adding that depth in there. I think I'm just gonna use the black to line my top lash line. So there's how it swatches. It doesn't look like it'd be too pigmented to where it would be hard to work with. Like, it doesn't swatch that well at all. I'm just gonna put this on the outer lash line, by the way. I'm not gonna bring this all the way in. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the lower lash line. I swear, this is gonna be the longest demo ever. I'm very sorry. But if you like this format, please let me know in the comments below. Let's do a little bit of the gray and the purple mixed together. I swear, anymore, I hate putting anything on the lower lash line because it gets in my contacts. So let's smudge it out with this bronzy shimmery shade that we try to put in the outer corner. I can see all the eyeshadow just inhabiting my eyeball. Sometimes I feel like it's easier to smoke out your lower lash line with a shimmery or satin eyeshadow instead of a matte one. But I'm gonna go off camera and finish up my mascara and eyeliner, and then I'll come back and show you guys what the eye looks like finished. It's 2 months later. I somehow lost the first half and now I'm having to redo the last half. But you know what? We recreated this look today. It looks even better than the first time. I'm in a new location, new room. So you know what? Everything works out for the best. So here's what it looks like with mascara, eyeliner, a full face of makeup. This is such a hidden gem and I highly recommend it, especially if you're on a budget. And I really, really do enjoy the look that I got from this $2 palette. Some of them are more pigmented than others. Some of them you have to really build up. But I feel like there are some shades in here that just make this $2 palette worth it. I mean, you can't find a $2 eyeshadow anywhere, so the fact that you're getting 18, it's a pretty good deal. If anything, I think these 2 taupey shades I put all over the eyelid make this palette worthwhile because they are so high shine and metallic, pigmented, creamy, soft, easy to work with, especially when you wet your brush. Oh. And the mattes really aren't that bad either. I'm actually pretty impressed, especially for $2, even though there were some that weren't as pigmented and you had to build them up a little bit. But you know what? Sometimes it's easier to work with a less pigmented eyeshadow that you can build up than it is to work with a super, super pigmented eyeshadow. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. if you decide to pick up this palette, make sure you let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I will say I did see this at the Dollar General. I believe Family Dollar has it, so if you don't want to pick it up on Walmart.com, you can definitely find it in your local dollar stores. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today, and the last day that I filmed this video. Thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, all the links are below, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah.